Hey guys, welcome to my channel. This is Chidema Ugochi Hyogo. If you're new here, thank you very much for stopping by. I'm sure that you're going to gain immense value, and I'm going to implore you to please subscribe. If you're a returning subscriber, thank you for trusting me and encouraging me as well. Alright, on this video, I'm going to be talking about polycystic ovarian syndrome, also known as PCOS. Have you heard about it before? I'm a registered nurse, and for the past 6 years I have worked in fertility hospitals, and I have seen women and couples trying to conceive in their various shades. I brought this up because polycystic ovarian syndrome, or PCOS, is also one of the leading conditions or one of the leading syndromes that results in infertility. Polycystic ovarian syndrome is actually a condition that affects how the ovaries work. It causes the ovaries to produce a lot of cysts at the same time in one menstrual cycle. Unfortunately, a lot of women discover that they have PCOS at the point that they are trying to conceive, which I think should not be so. The reason why I think this is because many of us do not pay attention to our menstrual health, do not pay attention to our menstrual cycle. It's one of the major tail signs of PCOS when you are having irregular periods or missed periods. But a lot of people do not pay attention to this, and so they just overlook it, and then they don't think anything is wrong with it. If you've not heard it from anywhere before, hear it from me today, that your menstrual health is a vital sign. If something is off with your menstrual health, if something is off with your menstrual cycle, best believe that something is wrong somewhere, and you need to see a doctor, you need to see a gynecologist to view you and find out what exactly is off. I need you to listen to this conversation I had with my friend and sister who struggled with PCOS. Enjoy. So hi guys, I'm here with my friend, my sister. So I'm here with my sister Nnoyelum. It's much more better when you hear a first-hand account of a woman who has gone through the journey of PCOS, if I might put it like that, or someone that has PCOS and has overcome it. So it's not just about like reading theory or you get. So that is why I have my sister here. I need you to introduce yourself. Introduce yourself.
Hi guys, hello. It's nice to be on this journey with my sister. Actually, we started the YouTube together. My name is Nnoyelum, and the creator of Nnoyelum TV. Nnoyelum is a nurse who is currently practicing in UK.
Yeah.
I've got my own channel, so I can call myself
YouTube
a content creator. Yes. And also, I love dabbling my hands into some businesses, so I can also call myself an entrepreneur. So yeah, that is Nnoyelum.
Yes, you're welcome, Nnoyelum, to this view. I actually called on my friend and sister for us to have this talk regarding you guys or anyone that you know that is suffering from PCOS, and listening firsthand to the person that has experienced it will actually help you to navigate your own journey very well. So Nnoyelum, the first question I'm going to ask you is, how did you discover you have PCOS?
Okay, so first of all, PCOS is a syndrome. That is when it comes to the syndrome. But first, when I was diagnosed with polycystic ovaries. So when you have a collection of other signs, then that is when it becomes a syndrome. That's a different ballgame entirely. So it was when I came to the country a few years ago. Actually, just shortly after I arrived, because I discovered something was wrong in 2022. That was after I took my second dose of my COVID vaccination. The reason why I'm bringing up the COVID vaccination, because that was one of the things that was occupying me. Like when I was diagnosed of it, I was wondering where it was coming from. But the only thing that was coming to my mind is, are you sure it's not from? It's actually a very big myth, I would say. It was a very big myth because I was living in denial at the time. But then after I took that vaccination in February, I realized that my menstruation was not being regular anymore. I didn't see it in March. It came in April. In fact, the length of days became more than 60 days. I was worried. because remember, our menses is just like a vital sign, right?
Yeah.
So I was worried that this thing was, there is something wrong with me, and I don't know what that thing is at the time. So I reached out to my gynecologist, sorry, to our GP here, and relayed everything to her, telling her that I was struggling with my menses. I don't know if it was because I came to the new environment or something is wrong with me. At some point, I was even thinking it might be maybe I was having fibroid. I just wanted to know what the problem is. At the time, PCOS was not even in the content, it wasn't in the picture
not
at
even
all.
the picture.
I wasn't even thinking about it because I didn't even,
Yeah.
I knew there was something called PCOS at the time, but it wasn't as if it was a thing for me. Like I wasn't even seeing myself there in the first place. So she asked me a few questions and said, okay, she was going to send me for an ultrasound. And you know how NHS is right here. So after struggling to secure my appointment, I went to see the sonologist who performed the ultrasound for me. There was something that he said, because after everything, I asked him what the problem was, and he was reluctant to tell me anything because he was like, oh, the doctor will be the person to tell you about it. I was like, oh, I'm a nurse. I want to see what you're seeing there. Are you seeing any fibroid? Is there anything? He told me, no, your uterus is very okay. But the only thing is I'm seeing a classical form, it's classical, how he said, a classical form of
polycystic
ovaries. I was like, what do you mean by that? I don't understand. Polycystic what? She was like, yeah, I'm seeing some cysts here and there. I'm believing that it might be, but that this is just what I'm seeing, that the doctor will have to interpret it when the result gets to them. That was when I was still at the point. I was like, okay, what was happening here? So after I went home, I think a few days later, the doctor called me and started discussing that with me. At first, she asked me if I was diagnosed with it before, I knew about it. But I told her that I wasn't even aware of anything. I've never been like that. Like, I've never heard of it around me. But the truth is that I have never gone to the doctor or to anybody back home to check if I've got something or a health issue. Yeah, I worked in the hospital, and that was just basically it. Working in the hospital, and I've never really visited to get myself checked for that. So yeah, that was how I found out.
Okay. So the next question is what was your biggest challenge navigating the diagnosis? Because I'm sure you were not expecting it. So what was your biggest challenge? How did you feel?
My dear, it was tough, really, because just like anybody who was diagnosed or who is being, and anybody who after being diagnosed of anything, they will first of all be in a place of shock. I was in a place of shock. I had anxiety at some point. I lived in denial at some point. In fact, I had a mirage of emotions coming together at the same time.
Yeah.
But the only good thing that happened to me is because I was in the health sector, so I understood how some of this thing works. I started reading up, to understand why I could be having such thing, because I have never been diagnosed of it. But at some point, after I settled into the role, because when I understood that, okay, this is actually happening, and I really need to work on myself, actually, look for a way to navigate through it, I started having reading, I started thinking about, reflecting on what my cycle was before, how my life was before. That was when I noticed that maybe I have been having polycystic ovary for a while, but because I was not diagnosed with it back home, it wasn't a problem then. I didn't think it was, and I didn't know about it. So because of that, I was like, if fine, how do I go about it? What do I do? I started talking with people. I started reading about it. That was when I knew that, because anybody that comes close to me, I'll tell them, I don't even know. They said that I have PCOS. They were like, oh, I even have it. That was when I knew many women are actually going through this thing, because I was open to talking about it, speaking to my colleagues, trying to get, in fact, all the thing I was doing, my family wasn't close, it was just me and my husband. So I was looking for a way, to console myself. Then I was trying to have a baby, my second baby, and it wasn't coming. It was also a whole lot of stress. So, I bless God.
So, but let's say prior to that time, how was your cycle? How was your menstrual cycle prior to realizing or being diagnosed of PCOS?
Normally, right from the my menac, right? Is that what it's called
Yes,
menac?
Menak, yeah.
Right from the first time I started having my menstruation, I always knew I had a long cycle. It can actually range from 30 to 35 days at some point. Sometimes it can actually go to as long as 40 days. And
Mm.
whenever I speak to my mom about it, I was like, "Oh, why is it my menses is just that long?" She would tell me, "Oh, mine used to be that long as well." And she has about three of it. She's supposed to have more, if not that she had a lot of miscarriages, right?
Mm.
So she didn't take it as anything, and because of that, I didn't take it as anything. I thought, oh, it might be
Yeah.
genetics, and I'm
Yeah.
fine. Then at some point, I started having issues with my weight. I started having issues with maintaining my weight, especially after I gave birth to my baby, my first baby. I think I was size 12 before I became pregnant, and after my pregnancy, I was size 14. Before you know it, I grew to size 16. So then I was attributing it to the implanol I had at the time, the
Mm.
implanol family planning I had. So because of it, I was like, okay, maybe this thing is getting me too fat. Maybe I'll go and remove it. I removed it, but still, I was still struggling to go back to size 14. In fact, I never went back to size 14 again till today. I did not go back to size 14. And from there, I started complaining. Like, I was working out, I was eating well, I was doing everything, but nothing was happening. Maybe I'll just lose 2 kg. Before you know it, I've gained it back. It was just a roller coaster of issues for me. And before you know it, I started noticing that my hairs was coming out, but it would come and go. It wasn't something that like I was paying attention to, but it has been there. I've been having hairs,
Yeah.
hairs here, hair that is
Mm.
itchy season. What is it called? Sorry about
Yes.
this.
Yes.
I was having hairs.
These
I
are
think I was having
these are all classical signs of
signs of
PCOS.
it then, but then
Yeah.
because I wasn't thinking about it, I didn't see it
Mm.
as
Yeah.
anything. Yeah, so
Yeah.
me, I knew I was having it, but the only thing I didn't have then was acne. I wasn't having
Yeah.
acne. I had a very good skin. Okay,
Mm.
I might have breakouts here and there, which is normal for every woman. Maybe towards the
Mm.
time of my menses or anything, but I wasn't really having, it.
Yeah.
So
Acne.
yeah,
Yeah.
so that acne is because I know that anytime I say, "Oh, are you having acne? Are you having hair?" So that is, I wasn't having acne. I was just having a good skin. The only thing is that I was having that irregular menstruation, which is a long. I was calling it a long
Mm.
menstrual cycle, which obviously I would have known, being a medical person, that there is something wrong, but I didn't pay attention to it. To be fair, and
Yeah.
secondly, when I wanted to have my first baby, I didn't plan it; it just came, so I didn't feel it was a big deal. Yeah, it
Yeah.
was. So that was it. That was it.
Okay. So, any word of counsel to anybody struggling with PCOS?
First of all, I have to give counsel to every woman out there. The truth is, whether you like it or yes, many women are coming down with this and they don't even know. And the truth, and most of the time, if you don't know you have something, it becomes a struggle, right?
Mhm.
I would advise you, whenever you can, go and see a doctor, do a checkup. Pay attention to your cycle. It is a vital sign. Your
Exactly.
the menstrual cycle is a vital sign. If you don't pay attention to it as a woman, you'll be the one to suffer it. That is one.
Mhm.
Two, when finally you are diagnosed with it, don't be anxious. It is a room for you to know, okay, look at what my problem is. I can navigate through it. After all, I finally had my second baby. After I knew I had it, I was able to navigate through, walk around how it could, how I can, overcome it, and have my baby.
Yeah.
And God bless me with a bouncy baby boy right now. So I'm sure that you would see that it's not actually a bad thing, or it's not a life sentence. You can still have the number of children you want, even when you are living with PCOS. So now you have to look for lifestyle changes that is going to help you keep on managing it. And the lifestyle changes is, number one, you have to work on your weight. If you're obese, you have to look for a way to lose your weight. That is dieting. You have to think of exercising as well. Exercise is very, very important. You cannot overemphasize it. So losing weight, exercising, being in shape, eating well is very important. Okay, then taking your medication, whatever the medication that the professional has given to you, stick to it. Keep calm. Try read your needs. You can even join a support group that is going to help you. Ask questions, speak to somebody, because these people are going to give you maybe you're going to share knowledge with them. You have understanding of how their own is going about, what they are doing differently, and it's going to give you motivation on how to go about your own. Right, so one thing that stands for anybody who is suffering PCOS is to try as much as you can to incorporate healthy living into your regimen, into your life. It changes everything for you. Trust me, it will. whenever you're ready to give to have your baby, there are things that can help you out. Meet a professional and you'll be fine. Definitely you will.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you very much.
Thank you,
So, you
darling.
guys, you have heard from the horse's mouth. So you've heard from her. Unfortunately, PCOS is not like a sickness that you just take medicine and it goes away, it disappears. No, is something that can be managed, and you can manage it in order to have a number of children that you want, right?
Exactly.
And also continue to trust God and trust in the advice of the medical personnel that you see or that is in charge of your health case, right?
I'm so
All
sorry.
right.
No, I
Okay.
was saying a lot of things. I didn't bring in the spiritual aspect of it.
Yes,
You can do
definitely. We
anything
need
you
we need
do,
that part.
and if you don't bring the spiritual aspect of it, it's not complete. So I did my
Yes.
part, but I kept on trusting God because He made me. All the promises you need is in the Word of God. So I
Yeah.
was proclaiming that promises of God in my life, telling God that the disease of the Egyptian, this is a disease of Egyptian. It's not my business. Just come and take it however He came. Come and take it. Ahead. So that is the truth. We all have to understand that in anything we struggle with, bring in the spiritual aspect of it, and you see everything transform for you. All right.
Yes, definitely. You see everything transform for you. So thank you very much, Noye. This
Thank
was
you very much for
very
having me.
exciting and inspirational. So, guys, if you have anything to say, if you have any questions, please don't forget to use the comment section. Either I or Noye will definitely give you an answer. And if you want us to make another video concerning this topic, do let us know also in the
Any
comment
topic of
section
choice, maybe you have
or any
something,
topic of choice.
just
Yeah.
ask the question. We can make more. Yeah.
Yes, we can make more for you. Okay, so don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel. All right, I'll also give you I also drop the link to Nnoyelum's channel as well, because she's a health professional like me, and also she would also teach you more on this topic and even more exciting topics. All right, okay, guys. So see you later. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.